Hey, Shalom Akim, Shalom, Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makapadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone for teaching us his truth, and salutations to the sincere Akim and Akwathim. Listen, may the blessing of election be upon your house. My name is Brother Akwai. I'm back in here with another quick and Lord's will is always an edifying lesson. And for today's lesson, I don't really have a title at the moment. I guess I might just call it we're living in a Black Mirror episode, right? So I was just reading this article here, and I was scrolling on TikTok actually as well, and I saw that there is a particular device that is being premiered in one of the Black Mirror episodes. I believe this is a new episode in season 7. Let me just say this: I haven't seen it. I've seen the show, but I haven't seen this new season. I believe it's on Netflix. If your brothers have it, check it out. I might get it myself. But here they're kind of just talking about this particular device, and the device is called nubbin. So what I want to do, I want to read a little bit of the article here, and then I want to show you a quick clip of what I saw on TikTok, right? So just bear with me on this, and I sincerely pray and hope this lesson is edifying, right? So here it says, the nubbin is an alleged brain C-hip allowing users to relive memories, is actually a marketing ploy for Black Mirror's upcoming season. It says the internet is buzzing over the mysterious new piece of tech called Nubbin, an implantables brain C-hip that claims to let users revisit memories, relive dreams, escape reality altogether. If it sounds like something straight out of Black Mirror, that's because it is. Netflix season's Black Mirror season 7 promotional campaign ad convinced that the nubbin was an actual product. So I did some looking. I didn't see that it was an actual quote unquote product, but it seems like some people actually have it in their possession for what I've noticed, right? So it could be, it may not be, but like the scriptures say that lest Satan shall take an advantage of us, that we are not ignorant of his devices, because we know that pursuing to prophecy, this is one of the things that Esau wants to do. He wants to implant this brain C-hip into people, so they can be you can be trackable, traceable cattle. So because he's in the mindset of wanting to play the Most High, right? So let me just continue to read a little bit here, right? And I will go from there. And it says, just bear with me on this. So it says the alleged company developed by a company called TCKR Systems promised to take users into a state of virtual consciousness, essentially a curated dream world powered by a memory recall. The perfect reality, it's all in your head. It says the website boldly complains. Reality is boring, it says. Time for something better, right? So let me see, there's a little bit more here. Okay, so here it says the TCKR Systems is a fictional tech company that has appeared across the Black Mirror universe, including episodes like San Junipero, Playtest, Black Museum, and Bandersnatch. The campaign was a clever setup for the new season premiering on April 10th, the first 6 fresh episodes. Um, so that pretty much covers the article here. I just thought it would be very interesting to bring out. Um, Let me, get a quick precept, and then I want to show you exactly what I saw on TikTok, right? Let's go to the book of Sirach, because they're pushing this information like straight in our face. This is Sirach chapter 5, verse 15, and it says, "Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small," right? And this is a great matter because this is one of the prophecies that, we're looking out for. This is one of the things that Esau wants to do and push that wicked vibration upon the planet Earth, right? And to be able to, track, like it was saying going in an article here, the fictional company is called TCKR Systems, right? And when you really think about it, it looks like um, and essentially like an abbreviation of the word tracker. So it's a way to be able to, that's what he wants to do. What he wants to do is to be able to track and trace the people, kind of control and corral the people into a city so he can be able to play the mindset of the Most High, right? He wants to be like Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? Okay, before I go to, where is it? I believe that's Second Thessalonians. Okay, Second Thessalonians 2, verse 4, and it says, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself, that he is the Most High. Remember ye not that I was yet with you when I told you these things? And when ye know that with what excuse me, let me read that again. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in this time." And he's been revealed by his servants the prophets. That's where the secrets are coming from. The scriptures talk about how wisdom crieth aloud, and she uttereth her voice in the chief place of concourse. We are the ones, starting with our apostles and elders on down for many years, that have been pushing out this vibration of what this man is planning on doing, right? And we know that the current US president is very cozy with another person, Elon Musk, who is also and has been developing these brain C-hips, right? So this is not something that is far-fetched, right? We're seeing these things slowly coming to pass, right? So like I said, okay, I did promise this. Let me show you the TikTok. Just bear with me on this.
I love her. Wait, what is she? What is she wearing? It's so weird. Her friend too?
Right, so as you've seen in the clip, she had this device on the side of their head, and basically they click the button, and then their pupils, their essentially the whole eye, it just turns white. So that's when they go into this mind space of like going to some kind of alternate reality, right? So this is what Esau is doing, right? And this is why we need deliverance. This is why we need a savior. And as a matter of fact, hold on, before I go to that, let me just finish this here. Let me jump down. Where is it? Just bear with me on this. Okay, let me jump down to verse 9. 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 9. And it says, "Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved," right? So a person upon the planet Earth is going to come in the vibration of Satan. He's going to come in a very sinister vibration that is essentially going to be adverse to the ways of righteousness. He's not going to be a person who's going to push forth a vibration of righteousness upon the planet Earth. He's a person that's pushing forth a lot of wickedness upon the planet Earth. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4, and it says, "But behold, his soul that is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, because he transgresseth, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth a home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied." And that's what this whole MOTB smart city agenda is all about. It's all about trying to enlarge his his desire, and his desire is to be like the Most High, to recreate man in his image. But like it talks about in Genesis 1, how the Alahayim, let us make man in his image and likeness, right? Esau wants to take that same notion and pervert it. He wants to do his own version of that, his own perversion of righteousness. That's what he wants to do, right? Continuing on in verse 5, and it says, "And it cannot be satisfied," right? Because he wants to know, he wants to know in everybody's business. He wants to know, he wants to know everything about you. He wants to know where you are, how much of your carbon footprint did you release today, how much money you spend, where you went, who you were with, what time you come home, what time you leave the house, what did you eat, all these types of things. He wants to know all this different information, right? So you're basically a slave, right? So and it says, "But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." And that's just exactly what the system is all about. It's a track and trace system. That's all it is, right? For you people to be, for you to be constantly on a grid where he's constantly playing the mindset of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? Through his satellites, his cameras, and so on and so forth, to be able to, to know your every move, right? And this is why we need a divine intervention out of this man, because the way he's continuing in running a society in a fashion that is not conducive to life. How could you reproduce with people who have this kinds of that emanate this kind of frequency, right? A couple years ago, they pushed the booster juice. And what happened? We know the results of what happened when you took that booster juice. People began to get a lot of CLOTS. A lot of basketball players were getting this. A lot of sports players were getting this. Young people, younger than me. I'm in my late 20s, but there were players. They were on the basketball court, the football field. Actors. I've seen this one video with this one comedian. She was performing, and she was literally just talking about the booster juice, and then as soon as she made a joke about it, she collapsed on stage, right? The scriptures say, "Never trust thine enemy. So as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness," right? "Who shall pity a charmer that is bitten by a serpent?" So, and it's very interesting when you look at the clip, because that's how you know how crafty Esau is. He uses one of our own people to essentially be the forefront. So, I'm guessing because she's an actress, if I'm not mistaken, and what Esau will do, he's going to use a lot of our own people to deceive the many, deceive the Israelites, right? You get your own people, and this is very, very played out. It's a very, very played out tactic, but they know these elites. They're not stupid. They study you Israelites, but you Israelites are so sottish, and you're so unaware of what's going on, to the point where you don't see that your heathens, these heathens use your own people to deceive you, to get at you, to get there and push their agenda upon you. Case in point, um, during the election between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, when you look at a lot of the um, campaigns that were held by Kamala Harris, what did she do? She got a lot of you celebrities, a lot of the celebrities, for example, she got Meg The Stallion, she got, I believe she had Eminem, and she had a bunch of other celebrities also. But the point is, you can't trust these people. You can't trust these celebrities. As a matter of fact, let me just make that quick point, and I'll move on in regards to these people, because you can't, follow after these people, man. These people have made a covenant with death. Like this is Isaiah 9:16, real quick. And it says, "For the leaders of these people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed," right? So these celebrities, because it's very interesting when you watch the clip again, it's always our people that are being used as a poster child to push forth wickedness. It's always our people. During the whole booster juice situation, the Fauci ouchie situation years ago, who did they use? They used this rapper named, I think his name was it Juvenile, if I'm not mistaken. I believe his name was Juvenile, and they made a whole song about it. You know, they Jake doesn't seem to understand how well these heathens study you. Jake thinks that these heathens see them the exact same way they see the heathen, right? They think they're all buddy buddy with all these people, but the scriptures say, "Turn thou, O Jacob, that thou mayest be illuminated." You have to be illuminated and understand what's going on, because you're in captivity. The enemy, you have enemies, right? You have the apostles and the prophets and bishops and elders who are telling you what's going on, trying to give you a spiritual awareness as to what's going on in your own environment, so you're not walking around so simple. What do the scriptures say about that? The simple believeth every word. As a matter of fact, let me get it. Our people are very, very simple. Actually, this one's good too. Proverbs 1 verse 22. And it says, "How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. I will pour my spirit unto you, and make my words known out to you. But because I have called, and ye refused, and I stretched out my hand, and no man regardeth," right? You see that the Lord is extending his compassion, through the apostles and prophets on the highways and byways every single week, right? For many, many years too, right? What does it say? It says, "But ye have not, you have set at naught at my counsel, and would none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity, and I will mock when your fear cometh," right? So, the Lord is going to laugh at a lot of you Israelites, because you did not hearken to the voice of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and his men, his prophets, his teachers. So, that's oh, hold on. Before I this is Revelation 13 verse 16, and it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive an mark in the right hand or in the foreheads," right? So in the clip you saw, the device, it wasn't inside of them, but this is like it's like a predictive programming, so to get the people to get used to that vibration and seeing that for themselves, right? To get them to slowly be okay with the programming, because Esau is working on a vibration known as called gradualism, where it becomes a little bit more, and over time the people slowly start to become socially acceptable where they're in congruence with this mindset, right? So it's that's the way he's functioning, right? With the word mark here in verse 16, it goes into charagma, right? Something that is imprinted and inserted into you, right? So that's what Esau wants to do. He wants to, wants to prick you. He wants to, push his crafty device in you, right? And this is why we're crying on to the Lord to disrupt his enterprise and protect us, especially in these times of trouble, right? Let me go to Sirach. Bear with me on this. Okay, Sirach 36, verse 7. And it says, raise up indignation and pour out wrath and take away the adversary and destroy the enemy. Sake the time short, remember the covenant, and let them declare thy wonderful works. It says, let him that escapeth be consumed by the rage of the fire, and let them perish that oppress the people, right? So and this is oppression. That's really oppression. That's no way to live. You can't bring forth life, with that type of vibration. We're already having so many plethora of different problems in this society. You have declining birth rates, you have corrupt food, we have defiled bread amongst the Gentiles, we have chemicals in the air, we have a lot up going on in this captivity, right? So Esau has to be taken out of the way, right? Because like Yahushua said, let me go to that real quick, actually. Matthew 24, verse 22, and except those days be shortened, Yahushua speaking, there shall no flesh be saved. And this is exactly what's going on. There's no, you can't bring forth life with that type of vibration, with this so-called device that people have in them. Esau is not, he's a mad scientist. He's not fit to rule, right? And this is not a righteous vibration that's bringing forth on the planet Earth. What we have going on is a wicked vibration that's being pushed forth. So just to finish up, and it says, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened, right? So anyways, I guess I'll just leave it there. It's just something I came across, and I thought I would, I'll share it, you brothers and few. Oh, let me, I guess I'll close off with this one. This is a good one. Last one, I promise. This is Psalms 17, verse 13, and it says, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, and deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, right? So deliver us, O Lord, from this, from this devil, man, because, he's, these people are crazy, man. These people are just, you can't, there's no living when you have these people in power, man. So anyways, I'll leave it there, I promise, but I sincerely hope that this lesson was edifying. Just like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone for teaching us his truth, and salutations to the sincere Akim and Aqua that may listen. Until next time, I say Shalom.